fading. Black Ring. Was it the death fog that got them, or something else? Ring. Was it the death fog that got them, or something else?
Just when I think this land holds no more surprises. Still, at least this is an interesting variation on Dismal. I always thought my path was laid out. Become divine. Preserve what's left of your people. It was such an easy narrative. But what if you could do more? What if you could save them all? And worse, what if you had all that power, but they were not worth saving? I don't know. Tell me, what would you do?
Fane nods slowly, lost in thought.
You're not entirely wrong. Thank you. I will have to think on this.
What's this? I found something. bolt looks unfinished.
This bolt looks
Was it never used?
unfinished. Was it never used?
Knowledge, so much history. I could get lost in these tomes. I've spotted something.
The spirit urgently passes a hand across the spines, whispering each tome's title as she comes across it.
No, no, it isn't here. This is impossible. You, my sister, help me find it. There is little time. This is no time to feign ignorance, my friend. The Doctor's arrogance may end us all. He has released a dark presence upon us. It must never sing the taming. The hymnals must be destroyed. And yet, I see no sign one was ever here. You must help me look.
Her hands fan furiously across the tomes like a pianist's upon the keys.
You must be feverish, though I wouldn't be surprised. Dr. Deva was surely ill to risk all that he's built here. Now be silent. Your questions vex me, and I have no time for idle chatter.
She hushes you with an index finger held to your lips and continues her search. The spirit keeps glancing back. A difficult task since his shoulders are tense as iron. How can I help?
I can feel my source power draining at the mirror's touch. Tenebrium is truly a material of the void.
Another pyramid. How very useful.
The transparent artifact glimmers of its own accord, as if conducting light from another world, another plane of living. As your hand nears it, it shivers and speaks. You listen closely, but while you think you've heard similar utterances in the past, you cannot make sense of its words.
Anan falan rever. Amadio velucio di amederita temorius.
It's a crystal blade, seemingly separated from its hilt. It's clearly of a kind with the object you recovered from the Surrey tomb. The object repeats its indecipherable twaddle. You can glean no more from it.
The hilt of a blade, I do believe, but clearly no ordinary blade.
spirit urgently passes out.
No, no, you, my sister. Help me find it. There is little time. This is no time for pranks, my friend. The Doctor's arrogance may end us all. He has released a dark, and yet
Her hands fan furiously across the tomes, like a pianist's upon the keys.
The key, of course. The melody that douses the Guardian flames and reveals the vaults. I shudder to think what may happen should their captives be freed. I have presided over this archive for many years. The hymnals were many. A malignant more rotten than any I've known, sister. It should have been confined to the vaults. I'd have offered myself up for the sacrifice had I known the Doctor's intentions. Now be silent. Your question...
She hushes you with an index...
It pereditu tiraka que chilum sin. Iratu besekron.
A moment passes, then you feel it. Clarity.
You speak my name. You know my torture. Please, don't judge me for the sickness my roots have spread. I can be free. My soul cleansed. Naivety, stupidity, call it what you want. I wish to put the source within me to good use, and demonology seemed as good a use as any. Silly me. I meant to summon an imp or two. Instead, I ended up hosting a damned archdemon. The roaring in my head, the craving for living flesh, urges. Good gods, the urges to kill, to hurt. The stronger they became, the harder I fought, and at some point, I was just gone, deadened, but not dead. And then, awake, on an isle I'd never been, encircled by faces I'd never seen, watched by a man I'd never known. They called him Doctor. He shouted strange words, and the demon bellowed. Then, one by one, They fell. I watched my own hands slaughter them. I tried to resist, but I couldn't. And then a final roar, when the demon rushed away and into the only one still standing. The Doctor. That was my last living memory. The demon may be gone, but its disease still infects my roots, birthing evil into the surrounding soil. While it lives, I am still its rotting servant. I've suffered. The Isle has suffered, but you can end it. You awakened me from nightmare with a single utterance, my name. How amazing that a name can wield so much power. Remember this lesson when you leave Blood Moon Island. The demon blackens another land now. It possesses the very doctor that liberated it. Speak its name, however, and you expose it. You weaken it. You'll know him when you find him. A doctor that accommodates a demon doesn't see patients, only victims. Destroy it, and you free me to the Hall of Echoes. Destroy it, and my roots taint this isle no longer. Now come closer. I'll say the demon's name only once.
The spirit's voice is a harsh whisper.
Adramalik.
How fares the hunt, my friend?
He smiles brightly and pulls you in for a short, if warm, embrace.
Most excellent, Losa. Most excellent. I know how twisted the paths can get. How much more alluring the sunny glade than the rock-strewn hollows. But you know it's the darkest roads that lead to light. It will be my honor to teach you. The nature of my lesson, though, might be somewhat different from what you expect. I can deepen your bond with the Source, but you must realize that this bond comes at a cost. All life, after all, sustains itself by consumption. Like the grass feeds the herd, and the herd feeds the hunter, so you must feed, for instance, on these.
He waves a hand to the cage in demonstration.
The very same. For the sum of source that flows through their festering flesh is more than enough to expand the sum that is yours. Through demise, a chance of divinity. Are you ready? Then let us begin.
Jahan's incantations befog your mind. All of you is thumping blood, pumping, pumping, pumping. Then, all you hear, then all that is screaming. From the cage to you, their blood in your ears, screaming. Silence.
That is all. Their suns have set to serve a greater dawn. The world awaits your true awakening. You are very powerful already. A master of the source. But I did not let this burst of power go to waste. It lies condensed on parchment for you to read and learn.
He hands you a book, hot to the touch, a sparkle with source.
My pleasure. And so we come to the second part of the plan. Follow through, and I will endeavor what you desire most. The exorcism of your demon. You see, the demon that you killed, the Advocate, he had a master. You might say the Advocate compared to his master, like the pussycat compares to the tiger. It is the tiger I am truly hunting. The self-same tiger, I suspect, that has been haunting you, Lusa. Now, don't you worry. I have no intention of sending you after this archdemon. There are few enough God-woken as it stands for me to force them into any real danger. The one thing I would like you to do for me, though, is to return through the mist to the Isle of Blood, and uncover there his name. Some would call this blasphemy, but a truly powerful demon can be somewhat like a god, omnipresent. It can manifest itself in several places and several people. I noticed a familiarity in the thing that possesses you from the moment we met. What I hunt and what you seek to be rid of are one and the same. But our desires are futile. They are hollow unless we can learn his name. A demon's true name is its weakness, which is why it basks in being known by 1,000 different aspects of its inmost self. But such dark magic was wrought upon Blood Moon Island that its inmost self must have been there in its true guise, exposed so that it could wreak ultimate havoc. That is when its name must have been spoken. And when spoken, heard over there among the blood. In the darkness of the ruins, amid the mangled dead, his name still rings, however faint. For once spoken, the echo of a demon's name never truly fades. Return to the island, Losa, and listen. Listen for the key to your salvation. It is a dark thing to contemplate a demon's name. Perhaps you can shed light on the matter.
Jahan looks at you utterly flabbergasted, but soon an air of serenity descends upon him. that of a chess player overlooking the board.
Adramalik. You have to admire his cunning. To think that in his guise of Deva, he and I shared the finest wines in the realm. Stories of the women we have loved. Thank you, Losa. You have done me an unparalleled service, and you've quite humbled me at the same time. The time has come for us to invoke the demon. Lure him out of his cave with his name. Adramalik. Adramalik. Adramalik.
A wave of rage washes over you as Jahan speaks the creature's name. The demon heard him. He heard him, and he's furious.
There is great power in names. Just like Source is the language of creation, a demon's true name is the core of its existence. It's be-all or end-all. His end-all will be your be-all. For you are Losa, not Adramalik. You are Losa. Are you ready? Then close your eyes and do as I do.
Your hand still in his, Jahan begins to inhale slowly, deeply, then exhales audibly through his mouth. As you breathe in rhythmic synchronization, he begins to hum a low, rumbling note. You hum in unison. Your voices blend, become one with the breath of the forest. Then, suddenly something coils within your chest, and a shout lacerates this brief moment of serenity.
Quiet! Adramalik!
Your right arm suddenly falls from your body, or it feels like it does. You have no control over it, nor does it hang at your side. You know what you must do. Choke this man who stands before you. Squeeze the life from him. Your muscles burn inside you, but you manage to slow yourself just enough so that Jahan has the time to duck away.
Adramalik, thousand-named nemesis, Lord of Soot, come shake black hands with me. Leave her, leave her, come play with me.
Your stomach churns. Your mind goes numb. This is the end. This is the...
Listen to me, demon. I know why you chose her. I know what it is you fear the most, and therefore desire the most. But I'll not let her serve you any longer. You will crawl back to the pit that spawned you. Mashtun Apathan Shdanelu, Kaumel Saravel, Damarel Saravel.
He places a palm on your forehead. It burns. He presses his palm harder against your head. You're immobilized. You're in pain.
Kaumel Saravel, Damarel Saravel, Mashtu, Shdanelu.
You're shrinking, shrinking back. Back to the safe and the dark. Back behind where Losa lives. For now.
It's no use. It's too late. Losa? Losa? Is it you?
You hear nothing but the slow, hard beating of your heart. Thud. The sound grows louder. Thud. Stronger. Thud. There you are. There you are.
Losa.
You feel something. A soft haze of light in the frigid dark.
Keep going, Losa.
The light draws you forward. If you can reach it, something will happen. You know something will happen if you can only reach it. Thud, thud, thud. Your heart beats faster. The light grows bright. You're nearly there.
Losa, he's behind you.
Something grabs onto your foot. Its grasp burns like white-hot fire. Bright light blinds you. There you are.
There you are.
He looks tired. His brow is wet with sweat.
You almost didn't make it. I failed you. He's not coiled around your heart. He has become your heart. Try as I might, he would not shift. I am truly sorry, Losa. But do not despair. I will not give up on you. We must simply take a darker path still. Confront Adramalik in his lair and deal with the demon face to face. You almost have to admire his cunning. To think that in his guise of Deva, he and I shared the finest wines in the realm. Stories of life and love. But now I know where he hides, afraid of his own name. To the city of Arx you must go. I will travel with you, if I may. I will meet you there and prepare for the coming battle. You'll yet be all, Losa.
worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Back for a return visit, are you?
Ah, locked.
Hey, don't come visit your husband.
Yep.
Glad to see you well.
Back for a return visit? Have at it. Got yourself situated?
Until later then.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
Yep.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
There's a lot of call for the junk you sell, then.
Back for a return visit? Have at it. Got yourself
And a
situated?
dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Have you anything that will protect against Voidwaker?
Yep.
Cold and poison. The Voidwoken. God knows what to stop those beasts.
Cold steel it is, then.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
Hey, don't come visit your ton. Who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
There's a lot of call for the junk you sell, then.
Keeping it together, Bree?
Why, I offer
I'm
nothing
all
less
right,
than the
as
wisdom
long
of
as I
the
don't think about
ancients.
it too much.
You're safe
Vapid
among
fiction,
friends.
along with a large
Never
helping
forget
of
it.
ham.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
Glad to see you well.
Who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Nothing good. Voidwoken are everywhere. Thank the divine you're here to protect us.
Yes, of course.
Until later, then.
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Have you anything that will protect against void waking?
I can turn aside fire, cold and poison. But void walking? God knows what'd stop those beasts.
Cold steel it is, then.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Have you anything that will protect
Not in any mood
against
to
void
talk
waking?
about it.
I can turn aside fire, cold and poison. But void walking? God knows what'd stop those beasts.
Cold steel it is, then.
Keep together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over.
There's a lot of
Not like
call
you're
for the
buying
junk you
anything.
sell, then.
Junk?
If I don't
Why,
come
I
visit
offer
your
nothing
ton,
less than
who
the wisdom
will?
of the ancients. And
Wouldn't you like to
Vapid
know?
fiction, along with a large helping of ham.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Buying or selling?
Your fish stinks of the void.
Keeping it
What kind of
together,
rat
Bree?
would sell such filth?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it
The
too
kind that
much.
don't fancy starving
You're safe
along
among
with the
friends.
rest of this town.
Never forget it.
It's all well and good for you with your rations. We've got to take what we can get.
Keep talking, dwarf, and you'll end up eating sawdust from a cell floor.
Ah.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
There's a lot of call for the junk you sell, then.
How you holding up?
junk?
Not in
Why,
any mood to
I
talk
offer
about it.
nothing less than the wisdom of the ancients. And
Vapid fiction, along with a large helping of ham.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Nothing good. The void woken are
Don't
everywhere.
come over. Not like you're
Thank
buying
the
anything.
divine you're here to protect us.
If I don't come visit you, ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like
yes,
to know?
Yes, of course.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Tell me, have you heard any news?
Nothing good. The void woken are everywhere. Thank the divine you're here to protect us.
Yes, of course.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Tell me, have you heard any news?
Smells worse over
Nothing
here
good.
than a
The void
dozen
woken are
rotten
everywhere.
eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Thank the divine
Don't
you're
come
here
over.
to protect us.
Not like you're buying anything.
I don't come visit
yes,
you, son.
yes, of course.
Who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
You anything that will protect against void woken?
I can turn aside fire, cold and poison. But void woken, God knows what'd stop those beasts.
Cold steel it is, then.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
I can turn aside fire, cold, and poison. But wild walking, God knows what'd stop those beasts. How scary.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Tell me, have you heard any news?
Nothing good. Avoid Woken are everywhere. Thank the Divine you're here to protect us.
Yes, of course.
Buying or selling?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Alexander was slain by singers.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Back for a return visit, are you?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yep.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
There's a lot of call for the junk you sell, then.
Junk? What?
Keeping it
I
together,
offer nothing
Bree?
less than the wisdom of the
I'm all right,
ancients.
as long as I don't think about it too much.
Vapid fiction.
You're
Long
safe
the large
among
helping of
friends.
hand.
Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
Tell
You're
me,
safe among
have you heard any
friends.
news?
Never forget it.
Nothing good. The Voidwoken are everywhere. Thank the Divine you're here to protect us.
Yes, of course.
Bishop Alexander was slain by Seekers. No rest.
Your fish stinks of the void. What kind of rat will sell such filth? Keep talking to him for you'll end up eating sawdust from a cell floor.
The air around the altar thrums expectantly. Duna's undertaker awaits an offering. The book detailed old dwarven myths, including a creature called Duna's Undertaker. This slab is an altar once used to initiate its followers. Death heralds would summon the creature by placing sauce-infused mutton on the altar. The creature then demanded a ritual. A deep bow and a carefully worded statement of intent would satisfy the beast.
Duna. Why do you call on his undertaker, the death that feasts? Every falling feather judges your heart. Act with honor, or be consumed.
The beast leans closer, its putrid breath washing over you. It is primed to pounce.
The faithful must offer an answer. What is yours?
The creature perks up, blinking rapidly with anticipation.
Why?
The vulture drags its talons across the altar, scratching deep into the surface. You brace yourself for an attack.
Your right is true. Do not call upon me again. Belong to Duna. Why do you call on his undertaker, the death that feasts? Every falling feather judges your act with honor, or be consumed.
The beast leans close.
The faithful must offer an answer.
The creature perks up.
Why?
The vulture drags it.
Your right is true.
Buying or selling? Capital. Good luck to you.
Glad to see you well. Anything more?
Hear ye! Hear ye! Queen Justinia executes 24 noblemen for insubordination!
Your fish stinks of the void. What kind of rat would sell such filth?
The kind that don't fancy starving, along with the rest of this town. It's all well and good for you with your rations. We've got to take what we can get.
Keep talking, dwarf, and you'll end up eating sawdust from a cell floor.
Ah.
Until later, then.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Back again, eh? Look, it's free to their travels, friend.
Nothing good. The Voidwoken are everywhere. Thank the Divine you're here to protect us.
Yes.
Back for a return visit? Have at it. Got yourself situated.
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Yep.
Glad to see you well. Anything more?
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs.
Until later, then.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Have you anything that will protect against Voidwoken?
I can turn aside fire, cold.
How you holding up?
Voidwoken.
Not in any mood to talk about it.
God knows what'll stop those beasts.
Cold steel it is, then.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Queen Justinia executes 24 noblemen for insubordination!
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Your flesh stinks of the void. What kind of rat would sell such fluff?
The kind that don't fancy starving the rest of this town. It's all well and good for you with your rations. We've got to take what we can
You're
get.
safe among friends.
Keep talking about it and you let that big sword after myself, Noah.
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
There's a lot of call for the junk you sell, then.
Junk? Why, I offer nothing less than the wisdom of the ancients. And
Vapid fiction, along with a large helping of ham.
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Do anything that will protect against voidwake.
I can turn aside fire, cold and poison. But void walking, God knows what'd stop those beasts.
Cold steel it is, then.
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
There's a lot of call for the junk you sell, then.
junk? Why, I offer nothing less than the wisdom of the ancients. And
Vapid fiction, along with a
keeping
large
it
helping
together,
of ham.
Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Well, don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Aye. Yes, yes, of course.
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Your fish stinks of the void. What kind of rat would sell such filth?
The kind that don't fancy starving, along with the rest of this town. It's all well and good for you with your rations. We've got to take what we can get.
Keep talking to Wolf and you'll end up eating sawdust from a cell floor.
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Well, don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
Thank the divine you're here to protect
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Aye.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it. Nothing good. Void Woken are everywhere. Thanks us in mind, you're the end of the spectre.
Glad to see you well. Anything more?
Hide. Yes, of course.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
They don't come visit your son.
Wouldn't you like to know?
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Hear ye! Bishop Alexander was slain by Seekers. Culprits still at large.
Until later then.
Eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come
Can
over.
you believe the prices these feeds are?
Glad to see you well. Anything more?
Come visit your son. Who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Fine order to march against the ancient empire.
Until later.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs.
Be on your way now, my dear. Perhaps we'll have matters to discuss again later. Oh, what a vile place that was. I'm glad to see the back of it.
Second time's a charm? Or have I asked too much of you?
Try as he might, Tarquin cannot hide as...
Where did you hear that precisely? Never mind. The Aeterin is a children's fable, nothing more. Supposedly a wand with an infinite capacity for source. Pure nonsense, I assure you. Really? Well, perhaps that says more about the caliber of their intellect than anything else. Such a device would be a gross overconcentration of power. It could purge the entire world of all source. Luckily, the laws of the universe render such a thing impossible.
The object quivers as Tarquin nears it and hums a response. Connected as one, the past and present slain, absolution and redemption await the one whose sins are many.
Oh, very good. Very, very, very good. This, my friend, is the key. Give me some time, and every deity in existence will tremble at the sight of you.
He holds out his hand, expectantly.
Lovely. Now, if you'll excuse me,
I must work.
Tarquin turns away, but continues to mutter excitedly, almost religiously, about anathema.
What a vile place that was. I'm glad to see the back of it.
I couldn't agree more.
Well met. Jehan's my name. Pleasure to meet you. Good to see you again. Marvelous ship you have here. Worthy of a king. Our mission has a name. Adramalik. He is the fiend that possesses you, but worry not. We'll find him, and we'll undo him. To the city of Arx we must go, where he disguises himself as Dr. Deva. She intrigues me greatly. I'd say it was brave of her to send you after a demon hunter, but bravery implies something to be feared. She's fearless. One eye is sun, one eye is moon. I wonder which half of her nature she yearns will prevail.
Aren't you supposed to be off learning how to become the divine and whatnot?
Her eyes flash with something. Anger, perhaps, or fear.
But... never mind. We better focus on the task at hand.
She looks straight ahead, ignoring you.
Well, aren't you industrious? Seems all the riffraff's back aboard as well. But what about your companions? It seems to me that perhaps there's still more to be done. I hate to labor the point, but this is your last chance to tie off any loose ends. Then attend to it. So? So? Ready to set sail when you are, Your Holiness. So?
Her eyes flash.
Yes, I heard. As much as I appreciate hearing this information repeated, I suggest you focus on the task at hand. Ready to set sail when you are, Your Holiness.
The elven warrior greets you with a scowl.
Keep walking, outsider.
I see the good in you. Our scion is with us in the...
You protect me. You save me. You are my light. It is a gift. I see my people's...
Bind that wound that it does not fester.
Hello, dear one.
We count a victory today, and we count a friend in you.
Bind that wound that it does not fester. Heal your wounds. We need you standing.
Healed or not, I fight.
Careful now. That's a trap.
An enormous tree towers above the plain below, staid and solid amidst the minefield at its feet. A piercing cold seems to emanate from within its ancient. An enormous tree... An enormous tree...
Bind that wound that it does not fester. Bind that wound that it does not fester.